Hey, Amazing Race, what's up? Dracula, baby. What's up with Dracula? Or I said Ivan, it really meant Vlad the Impaler. I got that one wrong.
Todd was voted class clown, not valedictorian.
Right, let's go. Come on, right?
And I don't know other countries' history. Ask us about American history.
For reals.
I might be able to answer, but I don't know about Slovenian history.
I don't remember last time. I'm a teacher. I don't think we even teach about Romania. We don't teach about that area of the Eastern Bloc of Europe.
You want to know how I could have easily mistaken Dracula being from Slovenia? Slovenia,
Transylvania, Romania.
I don't know. Huh.
That great stuff.
Also, we're saying Slovenia wrong. It's Slovenia.
Slovenia. Oh, okay. Episode 8. So where did we start off at?
We just finished Cologne, Germany, and we open our clue 4711.
4711. Boom. Yeah, so we leave Cologne, Germany on to Austria. We fly to Austria.
So when we originally got our clue, it was go to the travel agency, which we did, and that's where we found out that there was only 2 flights. John and Gray got on the first flight, and we were on the remaining flight, which was leaving at 7-something p.m. So the one thing that we did realize is that because it was the same airline, we can make changes as long as it's on the same airline. So we were like, shoot, let's haul butt and get to the airline and see if we can put our name on standby.
So something they didn't show on the show was that we were all racing to the airport to try to get on standby. And it was intense. Me and Ashlie were racing Corey and Rob through the airport trying to get first. Run into the kiosk, but there's nobody there. You got to go to the digital kiosk. We're trying to type in our emails, trying to get it. It was crazy
because we thought for sure, obviously, Corey and Rob and us have been honestly neck and neck pretty much the entire race. And so when we left before them, so it was Greg and John, Robin and Chelsea, us, and then Rob and Corey. And so I figured for sure we were gonna get a good jump on them, but we showed up at the airport at the same time. So I looked at Todd, I'm like, we need to run as fast as we can to get on standby before them. So we both arrived to the kiosk first, and Todd and I got our name got there first. Rob and Corey were next to us. But for whatever reason, the lady next to
super slow,
super slow, and was like, it's not gonna work. I don't think it's gonna happen. And then Rob and Corey are like, they put our name on standby, and I'm like, what the heck? We can't freaking catch a break next to these guys.
So we got on standby right behind them, even though we were at the front checkout first. But then once we got inside, remember, we were all on standby, and we didn't know until they were boarding the plane. And the lady.
This is the funniest part. I
wish they showed that.
It was the 3 of us, right? So Greg and John are sitting pretty. They have confirmed seats. It's Rob and Corey, me and Todd, and
Annalie and Steve behind us.
And mind you, I don't know why Chelsea and Robin didn't think to hurry up and get there and put their name on standby. But it was so funny because Todd and I, the lady at the checkout was like,
at the gate.
She was like, no one come up here. I'm not putting your names. I'm not answering any questions. I will call you when I'm ready. She was working. She was over it. She was probably hungry, needed a cigarette break. But she was like, get out of my face. She didn't like us.
She's like, yeah.
She did one person. And again, this is why your personality and your social game matters. Because Todd, however way, shape, or form, was communicating with her without communicating, and he kept winking at her, and he kept
I was just looking for her phone and be like, and then she was mad and she was mean and she was giving everyone dirty looks and go back, and I was just like, I'll go back, but
he was
and doing that little goofy thing hey, I know I'm bugging you, but hey, please.
And then, at one point she was like, I could see Todd doing that out of the corner of my eye. And it was funny because Corey and Rob and us were trying to jockey for position, who's going to get there first. Right. And so Todd kept winking at her. And eventually, by the time it was her to call or deal with us now, she immediately was like, I'm going to talk to you. And she pointed right at Todd.
And me, you, Rob, and Corey all got on, which was great.
And then Steve and Emily were the only ones who didn't get on that standby flight. But
I
honestly thought they were going to run away together because they had this, they were communicating without communicating, but anything for
Those
the
are
race.
little things about like that I don't think they show on TV. You know?
And I think that's what I keep talking about is like Todd and I, but mainly Todd, he played such a great social game that like they don't show that, like, and that's such a huge part, like what you can convince people to do that they don't catch on camera, like making friends with the ticket lady so that she gives you priority over someone that's been in front of you.
Yeah, so we get on the flight and we fly to Austria, and then it's literally like train hopping. I feel, train hopping.
Trains, planes, and automobiles, legit.
And people, it showed our little train adventure. It didn't show all the things we had to do. Oh my gosh, it was so long. We took like 3 or 4 different trains, jump around. We end up just doing a big giant turnaround.
And when we realized that the cutoff time was getting shorter, the window of catching that next train was getting smaller and smaller. I think Greg and John were the only ones that were really contemplating like going for it anyway. And I was like, you guys do your game, but like I want to go back. Todd and I,
right.
I'm more comfortable with like at this point going back and running with the pack.
That's another thing they didn't show, right? Like we were all talking and we like me, you, Corey, and Rob were like, yeah, we're going to kind of go back. And then John, out of all of them, were like, I want to risk it. And I was like, almost like, go ahead. Roll that dice. Go for it, baby.
I was like, listen, you guys should do it. I honestly was like, I was almost encouraging it because I'm sitting here thinking like, hey,
you know what? If they get it, good for them. If they don't, good for us, right? And so we're like, yeah, you risk it. We're going to go back. So we ended up going from there and meeting up with the other teams. And then we were on that sleeper train.
Okay, we need to sit here and we need to stop, pause, and talk about this sleeper train because what they showed was not what had happened. So
what they showed is us sitting down in the little sleeper car with
the mustachios.
The mustachios, which was right. We sat there for about 10 minutes and then we got kicked out when a new family came in.
No, because Robin and Chelsea were like, we had assigned seats. That like each ticket had an assigned seat.
Every team had a sleeper car together except for Todd and Ashlie, right? It's like they separated us. I was stuck.
We both were in carts,
separate cars,
completely with like complete strangers
that didn't speak English.
And I'm not talking like strangers where like you're on a plane seat. I'm talking like you're on you're facing. It's like this. It's a U train, so you're facing like this.
Yeah.
And you're trying to sleep.
Yeah. And I'm 6'7", she's 6 foot.
So I kind of felt like we had a major disadvantage because all of the teams that shared a cart, they were able to strategize. They were able to have a little more of like relaxation, I think, knowing that you're comfortable with the people in your cart. Literally, I had a screaming baby in our cart the entire 6-hour ride. Todd, I'm sitting there and I'm uncomfortable because I'm like, how am I gonna sleep in this cart? And I'm looking, every other team is grouped together. I'm in a cart with strangers, and I'm like, I'm gonna go check on Todd and see what he's doing. Todd is literally like, I don't even know, like half of the room didn't speak English. Like you guys,
the room didn't.
And like Todd was like, hey, like, some lady was giving Todd like cookies and snacks. And I'm like, what are you doing? And Todd was like, hey, look, you should come in our train. And I was like, no, so I'm in the crying baby train.
Right. I'm stuck in this sleeper car with a bunch of, probably Austrians, right? And we're all just having a good time. And they're talking to each other. And some guys, I hear his headphones, he's playing Metallica. So I'm like, hey, Metallica, yeah, let's get it, buddy. And he turns it up and we're all, we're headbanging. And then it's like old lady. She's like she offers me cookies and I'm like, oh, sure, I'll take one. And then I'm like, ooh, pretty good, right? And she's like, no, take more. And she's like, oh, hey, I'll take more. So I was eating cookies with her. And it was really fun. It was really cool to like connect with people and not really, like we didn't even speak the same language, but we were communicating and we were laughing and having a good time. But it was a long 6-hour journey.
I was like, is there room for me?
Yeah, and there wasn't. Like, no, sorry.
He was like, no, this lady has food. This guy has music. You can go back to your crying baby cart. And so like literally 6 hours, 6.5 maybe, in these carts. And I did not get any sleep.
I didn't sleep a wink either. And so I was really tired, like just sleep-wise.
Starting that leg, I already felt like
tired.
Just tired, you know? So
It reminded me of like back when I was a police officer for those 8 years, right? Like never getting sleep. And then when you do get sleep, it's like during the day and it's not good sleep, right? So it's just like, ugh.
And then it's like, go.
Yeah,
and,
and go. And you're like, adrenaline shoots up and then it's off to the races. And that's why we're probably a little snappy on each other after that because we were tired.
So we get to the train station and it's go. And we're running to try to find the clue box. We open the clue and
we have to find like that parking garage. Go off to the gliders, right? We go to the airfield, but we don't know at this time that it's gliders.
No.
Right? So
we
when
just saw airfield.
So I'm like, please skydive. I wanted to skydive.
And I was like, please, Lord, please don't let it be skydiving.
Because Ashley doesn't like heights.
Like the two things that I told Todd that I was like, I just hope that they don't make us do is like, I hope they don't make us do skydiving and I hope they don't make us do bungee jumping. Those two things, like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm going to I'll take a penalty. I can't do it. And so when we saw the airfield, I'm like, my pits are sweating and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's going to be skydiving. And then
because what you don't see too is like you see like planes and gliders, but you also see people landing with parachutes. Like people are skydiving at that field, like practicing. Like there's skydiving teams that are like practicing skydiving.
And so you're like, oh,
it looks like we're skydiving, sweet, you know. And it's not. It wasn't the case. I was kind of bummed out, but I was like, oh, cool, glider. I'm cool with that. And then we read it. And it says all of them say good to go except for Todd. Todd, you're too tall and too heavy.
Yeah.
And so story of my life.
So then I got scared because I'm like, that's why when my reaction, I was like, oh, like shoot, like it's gonna be me, thinking I'm gonna skydive, and thank goodness it wasn't skydiving.
Woo.
So we get in the glider and look for numbers when you get up there. Now, the glider was pretty phenomenal. It was such a great experience, but like. I was a little worried because I was getting so mesmerized by like the view and just like the mount. I mean,
Slovenia is beautiful.
You're flying over Lake Bled, and you can feel free to correct me if I'm sure you all will, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it's just this beautiful castle in the middle of this like crystal clear, like it was like from a fairy tale, absolute fairy tale. The glider window came about here. So you have binoculars and it was very hard to kind of look over and peer, but you're strapped in. So you're trying to like look over. And so when I finally got the binoculars adjusted, I saw the numbers 1991 and I saw them, I read them. They were kind of listed left to right. The angle that I read it was 1991. And that's what I wrote down on my paper was just how I saw it in the water was 1991. Now, meanwhile, while I'm up in the air, Todd is having a conversation with everybody else.
Yes. That was when I'm because here's the thing. I'm straight up with my political game. I am straight up, right? So like the whole time is like, hey guys, what's up? Hey, let's all work together until we don't, right? Like, you know, because it's like there's going to be a time when we work together and when we don't. And so at that point, we all talk to each other. And we said, hey guys, love you. Don't get offended. Don't take it personal when we don't give each other answers now. Like, because now's the time where we're going to stop giving each other answers.
So you guys all
we're going to stop helping each other, right?
You guys all had this like conversation. You all agreed.
We all kind of agreed on it. And,
getting
right?
too close.
If you want to help me, like cool. But if you don't, cool.
So meanwhile, I'm coming down from my glider. I wrote down on my paper 1991, not knowing what that meant. When I walked up to the man, and then the question was, what year did Slovenia gain its independence?
Yeah. And it went from like Yugoslavia to Slovenia.
So, and I'm
right?
thinking like, well, I don't know. Like, again, I barely know where Slovenia is. I'm thinking Dracula's from here. So,
yeah, probably a lot, like a late number, right? Yeah,
so,
like, yeah,
but
back in the day.
The only thing that I kept thinking in my mind was put the number that you saw. So I'm like, all right, 1991. That was the order that I saw it in. That's when I put it in. And so when I got up there and I said, this is, and I even remember looking at the pilot being like, I'm going to get this wrong.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm looking for. I'm going to see you. I'm going to be back here in like 5 minutes. And then I said, here's my answer. I don't even know if it's right. And when he said it, yes, I was like,
that was a real reaction.
I was completely shocked because it was such a shot in the dark. So I was like, whoo. So and Todd's like, yeah, she got it. And as I'm like running back,
Ashlie proceeds to like run over to Garrett.
No. Garrett asked me because remember, Garrett got it wrong his first try. So I'm running and Garrett is waiting. I think he had to take like Dramamine because he got like
yeah.
So then as I'm running to Todd, Garrett looks at me and he was like, what's the answer? And I was like, I think I was just so excited that I got it. I was just like, la-di-da-di-da, and I'm running and I was like, oh, it's 19. And then Todd like grabs me and he's like, great job. And he like covers my mouth.
Or I was like, don't tell him, because we all came up with an agreement. Like, we're no longer telling each other.
Yeah,
right?
And so he was like, great job. And he hugged me. He was like, don't share anything. Like, don't say anything.
And then I filled you in after that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, shoot, that makes sense. But
right. It was time to like start thinking competitively. Towards the beginning of the race, you're thinking survival. Now you're starting to think about, okay, time to start winning, or time to, now it's getting down to the finals. Let's go for it. So after that, it was off to the ski jump.
Nordic Center. Okay.
I'm still frustrated.
Let's talk about this.
I'm still frustrated. I'm sick to my stomach.
So when we get there, we open the clue and we see Express Pass. And I'm thinking, like, Rob and Corey left before us. They've got to be here. And so I remember thinking, like, let me check for their car. Because, like, you don't know where the Express Pass. Like, what if it's in a different location? Or what if they... So I'm like, I don't see their car. Let's do this. We're gonna do it. And like
what they don't show you, okay? We were first by like 10 minutes. We were 10 minutes ahead of everybody.
We would have been done. We would have halfway done with the Express Pass by the time Rob and Corey got there.
Yes, and so, oh man, I'm so freaking frustrated about that, because what they don't show you is, okay, they're like, there's a ski jump, but there's 3 ski jumps. Boom, 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 right? And we run right freaking past the marked gate. I'm upset because I feel like my observation skills as a past police officer was like good enough to find things and like cool, calm, collected under pressure. Man, did I screw up. Okay, I screwed up big time.
Can I tell you our theory though?
Yeah, go to your theory. I'm still frustrated about that, to be honest.
I feel like when we both embarked on going to the Express Pass, and I'll have to rewatch it, but I felt like I truly did not see red and yellow, like at all, which makes me think that when we first started out, we must have been parallel with the opening, the entrance, because we were looking straight ahead. We didn't think to go turn around and like look behind us. That would have been a good past police officer move, strategy. Let's take a step back and move forward rather than going, hey, I don't see it at this jump. Let's go all the way down 150 yards that way and check out the other ski jump. Oh, and when we don't find it at that one, let's go another 150 yards down there and check out that third ski jump. Oh, and guess what? Soon as we realize it's not there, let's go check the first one again. Boom, we turn around and we see Rob and Corey going up. And so it was just like, it was like a gut punch, and it was my fault. It was my fault. And it was one of those things, though.
It was our fault. Thanks for jumping in there, babe. Do I really have to do that?
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But it's like, I'm leading the charge. I need my backup partner to like check the surroundings too, right? Not just me. Like, she's like following me.
I was.
It's like, no, look around. Help me. And I missed it. We missed it.
Can I say something?
I am so frustrated. Still, I am so pissed off right now.
I know.
Just watching. Literally.
No, we're just idiots.
It was like this far away from us. Like, I could have been like this. There it is. It was right there. It was right there, people. America. That was terrible. Apparently, observation skills are perishable. So, there's a lot of other perishable skills, but so is observation skills, because I am so frustrated with myself right now.
The first time we ever saw that marker was Wednesday night. And
I didn't even know it was there.
There's the marked entrance. Like, we literally did not see red and yellow anywhere.
I'm never going to forget this. We were so frustrated. We were so
disappointed in ourselves
that, like, we kind of bickered a lot. I had that heated fire inside of me, the fire of frustration. And we were so upset. I was just like, I wanted, I was so angry.
Was mad too.
We were both so angry.
Miss something so obvious, and then you miss out on the reward because of your own doing. You don't have a moment to process it, and it's like, just keep going.
No, but you know what I want? I want to thank you, because you're welcome. Okay, we gave like that was ours.
Rob and Corey, here's the express pass on a silver
Here,
platter.
Robert and Corey, here's the answer to the lock on in Cologne. Here, and then here's your express pass. We're just giving it. Like,
Listen,
here,
Rob
take
and Corey,
it.
you might want to keep us around a little
yeah,
longer.
keep us around. We're just giving things away. Like, go
Clearly,
ahead.
clearly.
Hell, express pass. Yeah, we don't want it. Go ahead,
No,
take
wait.
it.
Let's wait for Rob and Corey to get here.
Yeah, I am salty about this. I am frustrated. That was a big move that we missed out on. Huge move. All right, so we're on to the skiing. And I can't believe how bad Ashlie is at skiing. I can't believe it.
Actually, no. So
we go snowboarding like every year.
Snowboarding is not skiing.
It's the same kind of sport.
It's not even the same concept.
It's the same physics. It's the same like concept, right?
It's not the same concept. You're using two legs with poles. Snowboard, your arms are free and your legs are combined in one. Like, it's completely different. Here's part of this debacle is I was pissed. Todd was like, we missed the express pass. Move on. I'm pissed off. Move on. Let's just finish strong. And I was like, no. I'm gonna be mad the rest of the day. Because the way that I operate is like, it takes a while for me to process things, and
that just means she holds grudges.
No, it doesn't. It just means
it takes me a while to process it. No, that means you hold a grudge. Right?
No, it means that like I need to like deal with it internally.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give shade until I'm over it.
Maybe it's me not.
That's
talking.
called a grudge.
No, maybe that's just
she
me
had
not
a little
talking.
grudge after we missed the express pass because apparently it was my fault at that point, right? And then so she is pissed off, like she is so angry, right? And we get to the snow,
and I'm like, stupid ski, we gotta ski now.
She literally removed a sucker from her mouth and threw it in the dirt.
I did.
That's what she did.
I'm not gonna deny it. I was so mad about the express pass.
We're cross country skiing. Hey, let's simplify the thing. Let's go French fries, right? Keep them straight, and then use your thing and just push yourself along, right? Push yourself along and just go.
The amount of times I heard Todd tell me French fries and pizza, which I thought for sure they were gonna air this. I think I said, if you say French fry and pizza one more time, I'm gonna throw this pole.
Yeah, that's what she said.
This blows my mind. How many people are like, oh, they're bickering. Yeah, we're bickering. Like, anyone that is in a pressure cooker, like The Amazing Race, with like, you're bound to bicker.
People.
We're both super stubborn, competitive people. At the end of the day, we both want to win, and we both think we're right.
I tell people, like, look, I'd rather her care so much, like, that we bicker. Like, I rather care so much that I bicker with her. I rather her care so much than she bickers with me, because we both want it and we both care, right? I would hate to be in this race with a partner that's like, whatever. Like, I want that passion. I want that fire. Like, this is for $1 million. Get up. Let's get going.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the way we could get over it. Let's win, right? Like, if you want to get over missing the express pass, go win it. Go win the leg, right?
Yeah.
Go win it. Like, that's how you get over it. Right? After the skiing, we're off to either the beehive.
The detour was bees or hay or something.
Bees or hay. So we get there third. Now, there's some things that were said.
Oh, we're talking about the shade. We're talking about Matt's shade.
Let's go there. Okay.
Let's go there.
All right. So I've
been there since Wednesday.
Okay. So there was some things said that saying, oh, Ashlie can't handle physical work.
No, what she said was, Todd and Ashlie are probably going to switch because this is hard work and I don't think she can do it. When we were watching it on Wednesday, we literally both sat up in our seat, like, we're watching it.
Yeah, we're like, oh, look at it.
And then we hear Robin say that, and we both were like, I'm sorry, can you replay that? I'm like, did she just say that, like, we're going to switch because I don't like hard work, or I can't do...
It's like, first of all,
shocked.
Where do you get that from?
What gives you that impression about me? Like,
and like, you know what shocks me is, like, you want to compare athleticism? Like, are you serious? Like, am I taking crazy pills?
But
am I taking crazy pills?
Listen, I was the only girl who did the mattress challenge.
Like, yeah, tell me that.
Understand.
Like, what makes you think she can't do hard work? The fact that she was the only girl that completed the hard freaking mattress challenge, where other girls didn't do it because it was too hard. You kept up with the men in that mattress challenge. Like, I don't understand like where that reasoning is.
Every leg that we've always been in the pack with
the men.
And most of the challenges that we do, I'm the only woman. So
Right, like-
where do people get off thinking that I'm like saying like I'm not athletic or I can't?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like,
hard work.
or the fact that you're keeping up with me, who's a 6'7" ex-pro athlete, or you're keeping up with John and Greg, who are in really good shape, run marathons, and are in their late 20s, early 30s.
That foot race was like
right?
pretty, like 15 seconds,
Right.
you guys. Like, it was just shocking when I heard Robin say that, because I don't know in what world would I give off that impression that I don't like hard work or I'm not capable. Like this girl can like hold her own. Yes. Lena and I are friends.
Ruby made this. Can't really see it.
Lena, it says Lena and I are friends.
Our friends. So
Aw.
Lena, our daughter Ruby made you a drawing.
Lena, this is you and Ruby when we went to go get yogurt. And yes, she thinks you guys are best friends. So.
And she thinks
loves
you're,
you.
yeah.
So we get to the hay barrels and we see that Greg and John are like halfway done with theirs. Robin and Chelsea are doing theirs. And we were like, shoot, again, our whole mentality, which is interesting to hear John and Greg sitting there saying that they chose theirs based on us.
Yeah, because I think John and Greg understand, like, hey, like, let's stay close to Todd and Ashlie. They're a decent team.
We end up like just trucking through this hay barrel.
Yeah, when
challenge.
we showed up, like, John and Greg were halfway through.
Yeah,
right. So we freaking just demolished
And
it.
here's the thing: the clue said to clear the ground is like completely.
We saw them getting checked, so we're like, let's make our grass look like super green.
That way they can compare ours versus theirs.
And then John and Greg even said something on the show, like, hey, like, I think theirs being next to ours
put them at a disadvantage.
Right, and that was kind of our strategy.
So when we actually finally got a check, this was the best part. And to this day, I will have glimpses of this and it cracks me up. Is I remember like when we finally got our clue, I look up at Todd's face and it is just covered in grass, like covered in grass. Like I didn't see skin. That's how much hay was in his face. And I know they showed Rob and Corey stopping to get Benadryl. Todd was like
I think, yeah, I was sneezing every 3 seconds. They should have did. I wish they did like a montage of all of us, just like
it was
nasally,
so bad.
like,
and I was like, babe, are you good? And he was like, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I hope.
I thought I needed an EpiPen.
Seriously,
you know?
it was so bad. But Todd was like, I'm not stopping. Like, let's just go. Like, let's
like
just
I
get
said,
to where we
right?
need to
We
go.
don't stop. Just push through it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we did. We weren't stopping.
So we left and we are on our way to that
skyscraper.
Yeah, the skyscraper. And so we park and we see that we're the first ones there. So I was like, Todd, like this is it. Like this is our chance. We're finally gonna get a first. And
asking for directions kills you sometimes.
Yeah, because you're at the mercy of how like quickly people are going to help you.
Another thing that you don't realize is you grab their phone and it's in a different language.
Oh yeah, and you're like, can you try to put this in English? And they're like,
I don't. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah. We get directions and we get to, like literally as we're walking, making our way to the entrance of the skyscraper, we see none other
like
than John
literally
and Greg.
We turn around this corner, they turn around this corner, and we literally turn at the same time to go in the doors, and we're both like, oh shoot, like we're both like, oh, there they are, and we go in together. It was like you couldn't have timed it perfectly. It was crazy.
And I was like so deflated when I saw them.
We thought we were in first.
Because I'm like, I didn't see their car. Like, why was their car not in the park? Like, where did you park? Like,
right.
Regardless, so now it's just like, all right, this is a foot race up these stairs, which were awful. They were, poor Todd, I was like, you have to hold my bag.
I was carrying 2 bags and I was tired. I was done.
It was a long freaking day. We get the clue, and this is the best part. So we were like, we're going to take the stairs down. And John and Greg were like, we're going to take the elevator. So we were like, bye. So they were standing there waiting for the elevator. And as we're running down, Todd proceeds. This is so genius. This is why I love you.
I wish it worked.
I wish they Todd proceeds to select every single button down every flight of stairs that we go. So every floor, knowing that if they're waiting for the elevator, it's going to take that much longer for it to go up because it's stopping. Brilliant.
Right.
Absolutely brilliant. This is why this man is a genius.
But John and Greg, after about, I don't know, 30 seconds, they were
like, screw this.
Probably even less than that. Probably like 15 seconds. They're like, they see us run down and they're like,
we're not waiting for the elevator.
Let's go, you know? You're right, and which was smart because I was going down, pressing down.
Genius. Lena and Morgan, that's what you should have done.
Right.
You should have
Hit that
selected
button.
every button
Right.
going down just to make sure that like they stopped. Todd, brilliant. Brilliant.
But anyway, so we're in a foot race, right? And we're literally like neck and neck, right? And then like, it was like, who's going to ask for directions first? Because whoever asks
Someone
for directions,
has to.
someone has to stop. And then the other person needs to know where they're going. And so like we stopped, they stopped. And like, we're both at different people asking where to go.
Yeah.
And like, I could see them across the street, right? Asking people. And then we're asking people. And we're like, okay, this is it. Like, right? And it's like, where's Dragon Bridge? And we are literally both going to run to Dragon Bridge.
Off.
And we are like following on their heels at that point.
Yeah. And they ended up following us, right?
Well, no, at first, and then they turned. And then once, because we both turned down the same corridor.
Yeah.
And then we knew the bridge was going to cross back over. But we didn't know which bridge it was because it was like bridge, right? And so each bridge, we're like, is this Dragon Bridge? And then we're like yelling at people, where's Dragon Bridge? And then people were going, that way, that way, that way. And so we're all like running. But the problem is like partners, we have to stay 20 feet within each other. Like me and Ashlie as a team, we are not going to outrun John and Greg as a team. Like we're just not. Like, put me in a foot race alone with them, I probably will win.
Oh, easy. You're
right?
so
Even
fast.
though we're racing across the Dragon Bridge, they beat us out by like 10 seconds, whatever it is. And we just barely missed first by like that much, right?
So stinking mad. Like that whole day was just a bummer day for us. We missed the express pass. We
missed
first place by 10 seconds.
Corey and Rob come in after us, and it's like, okay, so first place, like John and Greg get first. Cool, good for them. They got something. We get second. Cool, right? And then third, Corey and Rob. But then they have the express pass, and so like first place got something, which was great. Third place got something, which was great. And so we were like out of the top three, we were like the biggest losers out of that whole leg. Like we were like the losers out of the top three. Cool, you got second. I'd rather have gotten third with the express pass, or I'd rather have
gotten second to last with the express pass than first.
Right. So
it was just a bummer day all around, and we made mistakes that, again, I will say that like when you run this race, like it's easy to sit on the couch and be like, that's so obvious. I know it is, but like when you are on the race, you tend to hyper focus on things, and things that are obvious, you convince yourself that it's like, it can't just be right here. So it's like, it's so easy to do. And this is getting to be a very tight race. Tensions are high. Exhaustion is kicking in. You're tired. You're just like, you want this more than anything, and you can taste it, right? It's right there. And so like, you're bound to make mistakes, and we made mistakes that race. And that was probably one of the hardest ones for us.
yeah, that was a rough one for us.
Until next time, we can
Still in Slovenia.
Next episode, we are still in Slovenia. We got a lot of more racing to do, a lot more exhaustion that continues to rear its ugly head. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Bye. See ya. Peace.